welcome to Literati on News Central, where we unpack stories that speak to the soul. I'm your host, Judith Atibi, and here, literature meets life. Each episode, we explore the stories behind the stories. We dive into books that don't just leave on the page, they spark something in us. Curiosity, courage, but most importantly, compassion. Today, we have a book. It's less a narrative and more a sacred dialogue. Dear God by Ifeyinwa Kojo. Dear God is a spiritual companion, is a series of reflective, honest, and sometimes playful letters to God. It invites readers to imagine God not as distant, but as a present Abba, a loving Father who listens to everything, even the messy, the doubtful, the ridiculous stories as well. Through prayer points, personal anecdotes, as well as a re-examination of what we ask for and how we speak for the divine, or rather speak to the divine. Ify encourages our readers to shift perspective, rethink their relationship with God, and recognize that dialogue with the Creator is intimate, evolving, and transformational. The book gestures towards authenticity in faith teaching, that you can tell God anything and that He desires real conversation, not formulaic petitions. My guest today is Agatha Christie Ifeyinwa Kojo, popularly known as Ify Kojo. She's a Nigerian author, a storyteller, and a thought leader whose work sits at the intersection of faith, reflection, and personal growth. On her platform, Ify's World, she has long explored ideas through the Dear God series, short, candid entries that read like intimate letters and meditations. Dear God, which was published early last year, is an embodiment of that ongoing conversation, a book designed to help readers question the status quo in their spiritual practice, change their prayer posture, and also lean into vulnerability with God. Her background in crafting stories that speak to the heart and soul informs this work style, which is gentle, probing, and deeply human. Ify, thank you so much for joining me, and welcome to Literati.
Thank you, Judy.
I do hope that you forgive me for taking so long to have you here.
Totally forgiven.
Yeah, so that's good. That's the thing about being a faithful, isn't it? I want to say, first of all, well done and congratulations on this book. The Dear God series began as blog entries, as posts, and it's very intimate reflections, small prayers, exploration of what it means to speak to God. It makes me wonder what shifted in that from it being, ongoing dialogue to now a full-length book that we have here.
Yeah, so it's more of the readers, right? It just started with something very private, my discovery of who I am and who God is to me. And I started doing some very small letters, everyday text messages, every Saturday. And then he started into stories, telling him everything about the day, the week, or whatever incident that has happened that has actually impacted me. And for over how many years? 10 years running, right? The readers started pushing that they want to see it in a book. And here we are.
Here we are. There is vulnerability in your writing, and the way that you tell him of your doubts, of your frustrations, the small everyday confessions. How do you reconcile, honesty with reverence in those moments? Because sometimes reverence would also mean, because honesty means being open, anger, resentment, unforgiveness, questions, doubts. So how do you reconcile that honesty, with spirituality and reverence?
Sweetheart, honesty is spirituality. Honesty is reverence. It's even dishonesty that is the one that is the opposite. So if you're coming to God with every honesty, if you're coming to Him real, down to earth, you are reverencing Him. Because He knows already, right? He knows that and you know that He knows. So what are you hiding? It is that honesty, it's that openness, it's that bearing it and saying, I am dying, can't you see me? That's the reverence, because you are coming with all your vulnerability, you're coming with all your humanity to his divinity. That's what he wants, I think.
Right. And just, I mean, before we go for a break, because we're pretty much, pressed with time, the book doesn't feel like a traditional devotional, because when you pick it up, what comes to your mind is, the title almost gives, devotional. But the voice is very conversational. The tone is conversational. It is sometimes weary. Sometimes it's raw. I mean, just from your submission, you can tell how, passionate you are. So how do you settle on the tone? But more importantly, what came more important for you in terms of authenticity? How are you able to put authenticity over religiosity? Because that's what comes out when you read this book.
Exactly. Yeah. So immediately I determined who I am and what I am to him. It made every other thing easy.
How can your readers manage to be authentic without being religious? Or how can you even balance the two, authenticity and religiosity?
Why are you being religious to the religion? Because I keep hearing this religion. Why are you being religious with God? He didn't call you to religiosity. He called you unto himself. Religiosity is just some sort of banners and boxes that we use to make something authentic or identity. It's an identity. You already have your identity with him. So your authenticity and your honesty and that clean truthfulness is all he desires from you. That's all. He doesn't care which religion, which style, which fellowship. It's not his. He didn't do all of that.
Right.
It's actually man that created all of those boxes. God never gave us boxes. He came for everybody. And he said, believe. That's all. Okay? So I am asking and I am advocating and I am pleading, if I should use the word, if you really know that you know him and you believe, could you please tell him the truth? Just be truthful to him, how you feel. If you're hurting, I'll give you a typical example. A friend of mine lost a husband, and we went there, and and she wanted to cry, and they said, no, don't cry. You should believe. God knows this. Your faith and everything. And I could see this girl struggling. I knew her heart was bursting inside of her. You know what? I just went in front of her and I said, cry. Cry, scream, tell him you're hurting, cry. It won't change anything. It won't make him less. It won't make him less of who he is as God, and it won't make him love you less. You are hurting, sweetheart. Please scream, cry. This girl wept, rolled on the floor and wept. After so many hours, she got up, cleaned herself, and then that's when her faith started coming back. But at that point in time, no God, no man. Just cry. And he does understand. He understands at that point. No verse of the scripture will work. Bear it out. That's what he's waiting for. Immediately she finished and released the pain. If you're talking to her about her faith and whatever, it begins to make sense. So we should stop trying to cover everything with religion.
Yeah.
Be true.
Tell it for those at the back. I want to say, just let's go on a short break, shall we? If you're just tuning in, you're watching Literati here on New Central Television. My guest today is Ifeyinwa Kojo. She is the author of Dear God. It is a collection of blog post entry that she started on a Dear God series on her website. It's called Ife's World. Now, after the break, we're going to get into plenty more. The tone of this book, the writing as well, but most importantly, the future of the Dear God series after the break. Stay with us.
Africa needs its own storytellers, people who understand the continent because they're from it. People who know that news is more than just a conversation starter, it's our stories. because these stories run deeper than headlines and segments. It's about digging deeper to get the facts and telling the human side of every single story, not just the echoes from foreign headlines and perspectives. It's time to take back our narratives and share them in our voices. The birth of Africa's New Age reporting, and this is where it begins, right here at New Central TV, with stories that put Africa first.
Welcome back to Literati on New Central Television. My guest today is Ifeyinwa Kojo. She is the author of Dear God. That's the book we're discussing right here. It's not a devotional, by the way. I will put that out there. It's a collection of personal entries, a prayer, somewhat prayers, conversations with God. And she calls in her readers to maybe approach God differently, not just with reverence, but also with authenticity, but most importantly, honesty and raw. You keep saying that, that seems to be the, the recurring theme here. So what example from this book, what's an example that was a shift for you, in perspective, that turned a still prayer or belief into something alive again, besides just grief?
Yeah. Okay, so concepts that we grew up with, like the Obanje concept, yeah.
Reincarnation.
Yeah, reincarnation, the Abiku thing. I had a very good friend growing up, very good friend, and everybody tagged her that, right? And, religion did a whole lot of things, prayed. There is nothing they didn't do to keep her alive, right? And after we had done everything, done through the native way, done through the religious way, this girl still died. And I'm like, hey, come, what happened? At least we did everything. We prayed, we fasted, we went for confession, we took communion, we did all, and growing up and, getting to the knowledge and realization of what really happened, we realized that the girl was just a sickler.
Still grief. Still grief. And that's the thing I noticed with, with your spiritual honesty. I think that, do you think that, or maybe I should just ask you, do you think that grief is a factor or a life-changing event that pushes one closer to reimagine, and bring them anew in terms of belief, right?
Totally. Completely.
Would you say that that's the same for you?
Yes.
Was it one of the biggest inspiration behind the Dear God series?
Exactly. Yes, it was. Because, when I realized that even while I was being naughty, God was talking to me, I realized that everything they told me about religion, I started questioning it, right? I was naughty, he was talking to me. He said he wants to hear me talk. He wants to hear me pray. We prayed and did everything for my friend, she died. So there has to be something different. There has to be something that didn't make sense, that didn't add up, and that was the touch for me. And I realized that, you know what? It's different. The God that they're telling me about, it's not the one that it's relating to me. I didn't have to be in any form of box or do any form of rituality for him to connect with me. All I needed to do was, if I wanted it, if I was open enough, if I believed it enough. And the more I believed it and practiced it, the more it worked for me. So,
going on your blog, you have quite the following on each entry. I could see, it's looking at it, because again, you have to do a lot of work before you. In this 30 minutes, people think it's just, you just come and talk. You don't know, it's a lot of research. And then going through the entries, there's one that had about 3,000 views. And I'm like, this is, this clearly has a following. And it makes me wonder whether you ever, see, although it's the beginning of a longer conversation that we're having now, But do you see, Dear God series or the Dear God books evolving into a series of follow-ups, like, workshops or community experiences?
Definitely.
What would that look like?
Broadcast.
Especially community experiences.
Yeah, especially community experiences. So we want a situation where we can actually go out to communities and be able to debunk certain things, be able to educate, enlighten, let people understand. I'm not a preacher, I'm not a pastor, I'm just somebody that loves God. And I've seen a pattern and a typology to relate with him. And I want to do that. And I think I want to spread it more. I want to go to communities, and some of the concepts and typologies and beliefs that they had about God, we want to change that. We want to start talking to people, to understand that seriously, I know if I say this, I might get into some people's bad books, but you really, really don't need any form of bureaucracy or...
Yeah, we are when the camera is off.
I know.
But before I let you go, you are a storyteller. Besides just being an author, you're a storyteller across platforms. Blogging, you're also a public thought leader as well. How does that feed into your spiritual honesty? Just being a thought leader in your field, still also being a storyteller and also blogging as well. How does that all, work? Are you able to juggle all of that in your spirituality?
It's very easy because for me, one of the greatest value for me is trust. Trust, honesty. Okay, and I believe in doing the right thing for the right people and for the right reasons. All right, so. If it's not right, I can't do it, Judy. If it's not right, I can't. No matter how much I try, right? So it's just my life. It's me. It's the who that I am. So it's easy for me to navigate. I totally believe that we are the ones that will take the real God into the corporate world, into the marketplace. Really, because we have to do the right things for the right reasons.
We have to do the right things for the right reasons. Listen.
Yeah.
There's never time. That's the thing that's annoying about the show. So before I let you go, there's a game that we always play. This was very hard for me to pick this game for you because I always come up with the questions. But again, you know how I am with religion. So I found it very difficult to come up with these questions. So hopefully I did justice to it. So it's called the Rapid Fire Game Show. Also, the Humor Judith Game Show. We should have a sting by now where we play and then what it is I just shoot you quick questions, and I have to answer as quickly as possible. Speed of lightning. You cannot think. Cannot overthink.
And I'm a thinker.
First thing you say to God when you wake up.
Good morning.
I thought you say, thank you.
No, good morning.
Oh, that's cute. A prayer you used to say that you now see differently.
Chaplet.
Oh, really? I learned me one of those. I'm also Roman Catholic. Yeah. But my own prayer is God, I beg. It's a slowly metamorphose now. It's now an exclamation. It's a sincere cry. It's a thing it's something as I beg. Like God. You can use I beg as begging. I beg as in. There's one word that describes the spiritual season right now.
Relationship.
Really? Relationship with God. I see. Favorite Dear God entry you've ever written and why?
Oh, which one should I choose now? Silence.
Oh, okay, why?
Why? Because I talk too much and there is so much noise in this world. Too much noise.
Why would you say you talk too much?
I do.
That's my job. The book that most shaped your inner life growing up. Please don't say the Bible.
No, it's not. It's actually Awaken the Giant Within. Anthony Robbins.
Yeah. Okay, that's a new one. A non-spiritual habit that fuels your clarity. A habit that fuels your clarity.
Dancing.
Dancing? Really? You don't have to be like... You're winning this game. You're beating it. Yeah, you should get a trophy after. Song or soundtrack that helps you hear God more clearly? A song or a soundtrack?
Dusin Oyeko. Oh God, what's this his song?
Relax. Next time. Or you call Dusun? Is it the new one that's like trending on social media?
Yeah.
I don't know any of those.
What's the name? Who is like you?
Oh.
Who is like you? I love that song. Anytime it plays, I like, okay. Who is like you? I love it. Yeah.
I worry a lot, right? I worry a lot. So I always say that my religion is music. I love music a lot. So mine would be The Age of Worrying by Yeva. It's a beautiful song. It says, look in the face of worry and say, worry, why should I care? That is a beautiful song. Anyway, so everyone who is non-religious, you should go check it out. The Age of Worrying by Yeba. One misconception people have about prayer.
Loud. You don't have to shout. Stop.
What about the
Stop screaming. Or die. Kill it. Stop. I'm going to be in trouble. I told you. You have put me in trouble. You put me in trouble right now.
The late Pope, God rest his soul, he said that he slept during prayer, right? And then one of the journalists asked him that, shouldn't you be sleeping during prayers? And he said, should you not sleep in the bosom of Jesus? I'm paraphrasing, but I thought you were going to say sleeping during prayer, misconception. I mean, that's how you sleep now. I don't know what you're talking about.
If you're sleeping, that's when you're calm, you're healing. Yeah. No, I sleep.
Coffee or quiet? What helps you reflect?
Quiet.
I mean, it's coffee. Sorry.
Quiet.
I mean, a nice good cup of coffee in the morning. I said, Trump is just so... Yeah, and I just looked into myself as I'm drinking the coffee. If Dear God had a subtitle today, what would it be?
I love you, Lord.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Before I let you go, if you had to pick one recurring theme from the book that you want people to carry with them every single day when they go out to pick up this book, what would that be? What would that be for you?
If I say that again, please. One
recurring theme, just one thing, a theme that you want them to take out of this book when they go pick it up for the readers.
You got me. Please, won't you come to me?
To be vulnerable.
Yeah.
No holds barred. If there's any way you should lay it all, is at his feet.
Sweetheart.
See, I'm very good at this thing. I love my church.
If you're listening to me out there, he just loves you, okay?
Ify, I must say thank you for taking out time to come.
Thank you,
and I do hope that you enjoyed yourself.
I did.
Thank you. It was also my pleasure to have you.
You're awesome. Thank you so much.
Ifeyinwa Kojo, she is my guest today. She's the author, Dear God, all right? It's an entry of all of her prayers and most of the sincere and vulnerable entries you've seen as it reflects to religion and your relationship with God. Until I come your way next time, this has been Literati. My name is Judith Atibi. Bye for now, and keep reading. Okay, bye.
News Central TV, with stories that put Africa first.